What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Stacks, and welcome again to the Palboy YouTube channel. And today, I got a banger for you. Yeah. Settle down. So remember that Mega Base video I showed you like a few videos ago? That one? Yeah, that one? Yeah. Well, someone asked for a build guide, so guess what? Here we go with all the deets, down to the crevices, and all that. Now, I know I be rambling like crazy in these videos, so for those who want to slide in and slide out, whoa. For those who just want to get down to business and build, I have timestamps in the video for each part of the build in the description below, and the actual building begins at this timestamp right here. Got it? Bet. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, I'm ranting now. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. Anyways, this location is prime, smack in the middle-ish of the map. You can see everything from Mount Obsidian to Frostbound Mountains, Faybreak and Sakurajima Island, and even some of the wildlife sanctuaries. I mean, this is top-tier real estate. Not to mention, there are 2 merchants on the island next door. But I mean, come on. Who hasn't caught the merchants by now for your base? I mean, anyways, as you can see in this carefully crafted slideshow of the base with all of its materials and decorations, this base captures all of the basic necessities of the game. You can craft just about anything. And short of oil production, we got a separate base video for that. What? You didn't see the video? It's like right here? Yeah, click that video. It's nice too. Short of making oil and chromite. Come on, Pocket Pair. This base can handle all resource gathering, medicine production, as well as breeding and PAL optimization functions for the breeding side. And we even gave them nice beds. I mean, I'm so nice. Am I right? I take good care of my pals so that they can work 24/7. So in this video, I'll break down everything from picking the base location, to picking the foundation, to the erection.
Hey, yo!
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
The construction of both sides of the base, and towards the end of the video, I'll even go over the layout of the base and some of the decorations I did as well. And this is quite a long video, roughly 2 hours to be exact. So if you need the play-by-play, you can watch it in its entirety. But I did also try to parse out the areas where you can build it yourself, if you comprehend where I'm going with the build as I do it. So if you like the build and the guide help, please Bruce Lee, smack that subscribe button and
Bop it!
you know, the like button. Thanks. And on to the build. So the base itself is being built on Icewind Island. The circular section over here with the coordinates shown on the screen. And the Icewind Island fast travel point to the north of that oval area is the closest spot we're going to teleport your character to get to the area that we're going to build on, which is this island you can see right here. So just get on your bird, fly to the area, and just drop to the bottom half of the map that you can see right here. And I'm doing a voiceover right now because, OBS messed up my entire audio. So bear with me as we get through this. Alright, noobs, we gotta go through some prerequisites in order to get this build to actually work. So first things first, we gotta set our structure deterioration rate to 0 in order to prevent things from deteriorating outside of the base, like our Skybridge. So to do this, we want to select Start Game, and in your world, select Change World Settings, and then scroll all the way down till you see Structure Deterioration Rate, and set that bad boy to zilch, 0, nada. And for the fancies on the dedicated server, you got a Palworld settings file, right? Yeah, see that long setting right there? I ain't saying that out loud. Just set that bad boy to 0 and we good. Got it? Great. Also, don't be a noob. Gotta be level 61 to get the futuristic structure set. So get all these other things from the tech tree also, especially that guild chest. Go to one of your mediocre bases or something and, get those items right here. If you want to be nice to your pals and get them a feed box or something, get this much wood and some salads too. Why not? So at the spot we landed, we're gonna paste the Palbox, the guild chest, and the feed box, if you're nice and stuff. And then while I place this guild chest down, might as well, you know, pull out my Anubis and make it go to work as well. So well, at least if you're gonna be nice, throw some salads in there so the pals work faster. 30% faster to be exact. Now after placing the base, you want to chop down all the trees to clean up the area. Psych! Make your pals do it. Drop all your level 3 and 4 lumbering pals and tell them to go to work. Then throw some level 4 transporters like my Wombos here and have them do the transporting. Even though at the end I end up, you know, actually picking it up myself since it's faster that way. Here's an aerial view just to show you what it looks like when all the trees are chopped up and everything. So we'll start building the base at the circle, and then once we're done, we'll build out this way. So we'll lay out the first tile of the foundation from the futuristic set, or clean kit as the game says. Two things to note though. One, we want to build the foundation high enough so the grass doesn't show over the foundation. Just raise it enough like I did here to prevent that. And two, you want to make sure that you align the foundation with the direction that we'll build the base towards. You want to be able to build across the entire island, so make sure your placement is right before you move. So make sure your placement is right before moving on to building the whole foundation structure. So this is a view of how the foundation is going to be laid down. If you feel like you can work off this diagram, this will be a good place to pause the video and build it out yourself. I would advise skipping to this timestamp right here for the information on the Palbox placement, since we will move it from its current location right now. So this diagram contains the left side structure, which will be the production base, and the right side structure, which will be the breeding base. The Skybridge foundation below connects the first and the second base together. Also, it'll allow you to build a sky bridge over it because of, you know, Palworld physics. Normally, you can only build 2 roof structures on a foundation, unless there's a foundation below, which then you can build out however far you want. So that's pretty dope. Now, these sides are mirrored, but the concept's the same. You have the sides of the base here, which is 12 tiles wide, the blue squares, and the front and the back side of the base is 13 tiles wide. After building this out, you then surround the entire base with 2 glass foundation tiles as shown here. This serves as a buffer that you can walk around as well, but the only exception to this area is the 2x3 extension of the clean kit foundations right here, which we'll use for the Skybridge foundation that connects the 2 bases together. So I'm gonna make a disclaimer right now. I made some mistakes in the recording process, but this was time consuming, so I'm not redoing it. Okay, cool. All right, check it out. Besides, I show the process of how I fix it, and as I continue to build the foundation, you'll notice the fixes that I do. It does come together in the end, I promise. But it goes to say that Palworld is so much of a sandbox, so your base positioning may ever so slightly vary from mine. But following this should get your entire base inside the oval area, which is really what we're aiming for anyways. So as you can see, I'm basically placing the clean kit foundation tiles in the 12x13 pattern that you saw in the diagram earlier. The idea is just to kind of get the structure started, and then as we go along, we'll just basically adjust as we go along. So over here, we just put the glass tile right there, and we're gonna get up and kind of check our progress. As you can see, we laid a few tiles down already. This row right here is going to be where the full glass row starts, and you'll notice that in the later part of the video. But if you wanted to go ahead and start that now, you can. If you want to take the diagram I showed earlier to build a foundation and then just go ahead and move on yourself to the actual building of the structure, the timestamps you'll be able to find for building the structure will be right here. And don't forget the Palbox placement part of the video will be right here as well. So after all those tiles that we place, we're going to start working on the edge location of the base where the glass tiles will be placed. As you will see, this will be a reference point to where the foundation structure ends, and you can use this to ensure that the entire width of the base will fit within the oval structure, since this is basically the skinniest part of the island. So right here, there's this random glass tile that we mentioned as an anchor point. We'll not actually need this tile, as everything on that side behind the glass foundation row that we just built is going to be destroyed when we clean things up. So here's a trick that you're going to see me use quite a bit when I'm building this base. When building outside of the base, you're not going to actually hold any of the items that you need to place certain things down, like a glass foundation for example. So instead of having to run back to a chest on the base to pick up the item, you could just break one of the items on the base that you need to build outside the base, like this glass foundation for example. Then just go outside the base and build it, because the materials when you break it will end up in your personal inventory. Then once you're back in the base with the entirety of your resources, you can just rebuild the item on the base and then you'll be good to go. And this is pretty much really useful when you're going to start building items on the upper levels of the base later on in this video. So after admiring the view, I'm going to go ahead and drop down, and we're going to continue with the 12 by 13 structure part of building the base. We're going to just continue from that point. Going to count 13 tiles this way, and then we're just going to turn around and then continue to build 12 blocks this way. Now once we finish the outer part of building this, we're going to go ahead and just fill the inside of the base. So just go in and fill the inside tiles just so we completely cover everything. Now once you finish building the inside, we're going to go around and fill up the outside with the glass tiles as well. So now that we finished surrounding everything with the glass structures, we're going to go back here and destroy all of the extra tiles that we're not going to need. So once we finish destroying all of the tiles back here, we're going to go into this middle section right here, and we're going to get ready to destroy the guild chest and the Palbox, just so we can reposition the Palbox to cover the entire area. Before you do so though, go in the guild chest and get some of the polymer material, because once you break the base, you're not going to have access to everything in that guild chest. So you're going to want to go ahead and get that polymer so you can fill in the center part, and then destroying the Palbox and the guild chest will give you those materials back, and then you'll be able to actually go in and rebuild everything. So once you do that, you'll reposition the Palbox in a way that actually covers the entire section of the clean kit foundation. See that cross section right there? Yeah, we're dropping the Palbox smack in the middle there where the rectangle is. You're gonna point the ball part of the Palbox right here towards the direction of the Skybridge, and when you teleport, you'll be on this side of the Palbox looking at the entrance of the breeding base from the production base. And after dropping off that box, you're gonna hop on the bird and check your work. You wanna try to get the sides, as you can see here. Minimal edges outside the base is what we're really looking for. And it should be even on all four sides. All right, now build that Palbox and check for the ball, and we're gonna go down here and we're gonna build out the 2x3 entrance to the Skybridge right here. And then after that, throw that guild box right here, and consider this the final location for this base of the Palbox. I mean the guild chest. All right, we good. So the Skybridge foundation part is pretty simple. You're going to need to build 3 tiles wide and 12 tiles long, and you're going to start it basically off the end point of where you have it right here. Now, before building the Skybridge, you're going to make sure you want to pull enough polymer from your guild chest just to make sure that you have enough to go across, because you're not going to be close to a base to be able to get the materials. As I'm building a Skybridge foundation, you'll notice that I'm basically putting it over the trees and not chopping them up. I'll chop them up later. But this video is 2 hours long, so I gotta keep it pushing. So after I build the 12 rows of the Skybridge foundation, you can build out the 12 by 13 foundation structure just like the first one. Doing it on this side should be a lot easier because we don't really have to do any aligning like we did on the first side. So once we finish with the Skybridge, we can just go ahead and build out the 12 by 13 structure. So at this point I find out that I am running out of materials. So I gotta go to the other base and grab some more polymer. So that's what I'm doing right now. Here's a good graphic of how the layout's going to be. So over here in the yellow is where the Palbox is placed, just like the first base in reverse. This will show the base circle and how the edges should line up. You'll once again place the ball part of the Palbox and have that facing the Skybridge, just like the first base. The positioning of the Palbox right here in this graphic, you could pause it and use this for aligning the Palbox properly on the second base as well. After placing the Palbox, you're going to want to surround the futuristic foundations with the glass foundations like in the first base. And after you completely surround it with the glass kit, you want to go ahead and clear out the trees everywhere, and this should be the completed results right here. Now for building the production base structure, we're going to start by placing the Japanese style pillars as shown in the diagram here. We're going to place them first to set the foundation for building the walls later. While we're at it, we want to pay close attention to the elevator area right here, which is usually placed on the glass foundations part of the build. The reason I'm placing the Japanese pillars first before the walls is because these pillars don't really play nice with the futuristic or clean kit walls, so they won't snap if the pillars placed second. So we're going to place the pillars first, and then we're going to follow up with the clean kit walls, and then after that we're going to come back around and follow with the glass walls. So if you look in the video right now, you can see the way that I'm placing these pillars, and we'll just come back as we finish this. So this is what the pillars look like when they are all placed on the foundation. After this, we're going to place all the walls to show the way that these walls stack up, and then we're going to stack 2 more rows the same way to make it 3 walls high. As you can see here, I'm basically going to show you both in-person and aerial views of how I'm building everything, so you can use this as a step-by-step way of knowing the actual placement of the walls. Once you get the hang of it, you could probably move a little bit faster than me, but this is how we're going to show basically the layout of everything. Now we're going to follow up with the glass walls. Now we're going to come back here to the back of the elevator area, and we're going to put a glass wall right there. So now that we have the layout of how we're going to do everything, we're going to go ahead and stack the pillars three walls high, and then we're going to do this around the entire structure, including the elevator. And then once we do that, we're going to do the same exact thing with the walls in the same orientation. So just follow everything that way, and we should be good for the next part of the video. So for the elevator part, we're gonna keep putting the walls on the side, but when we get over here, we're gonna actually put a clean kit roof on the ground here. This is gonna be the base level of the elevator. And then afterwards, we're gonna put a clean door kit here, and that's gonna give us an exit to the back side of the base. And then we're gonna put a glass wall on top of that, and then we'll just keep it moving from there. So now after completing the walls for the first floor, we're gonna work on the stairs now. And we're gonna do this around the elevator. We'll have the stair structure where you can decide to keep going up the stairs to all the floors, or you can take a flying pal or a Crojiro and make your way above the levels. So starting with the first floor, we're gonna build the structure as you can see here. So we're gonna put 3 stairs over here. You can pick whichever stairs you want, but I like the Japanese style. So after we do that, we're going to put the door on the right side over here, and this is going to be the entrance to the electrical room. Now, once you get in the electrical room, we're going to go ahead and put 10 accumulators. We're going to put 5 on each side, and these are going to be used to store electricity across the base. So you see I put these walls up right by the doors and I'm going to put some walls up over here. We're going to use these spaces behind the walls just to put some base enhancement items, like put a silo over here and a fountain, as you'll see later on. Basically, I try to take these little areas and put a lot of those items that you don't want to see necessarily. If you want to be decorative and find a way to put those in the base that makes sense, you can. But if you just want to hide those, you can just put them in places like this, where you can still access it with the door like I have here, but at the same time you can pretty much conceal it pretty well. And you'll see me do this across different parts of the base as well. Now coming back over here, you're gonna see me build all 10 accumulators in a room. We're gonna build 5 on one side by this glass panels over here, and we're gonna build 5 on the other side as well. And then once we do that, you're not gonna see it on this part of the video, but we're also gonna build an alpha wave generator and a beta wave generator right in the middle of those. And that way you'll be able to get your sanity boosts and your work speed boosts as well. Now these accumulators are going to be good for storing, extra electricity in the base, because there's going to be a lot going on in this base, so you're going to want those accumulators. And we'll be doing this same exact setup in the breeding base as well. Now you notice we're going to have we're going to have ceilings right above here. We couldn't put them earlier because if you did, you wouldn't be able to put the accumulators. You wouldn't be able to install the accumulators under there, so we had to put the accumulators first, and then we came back and did the roofs. So that's what you see here. Anyways, the base of the stairs, like you saw earlier, was 3 stairs wide and 1 stair tall. After putting these triangles up over here, like you can see, just to clean things up, we're going to come back around and we're going to put 2 pairs of stairs wide, and then we're going to go up 2 levels. And then once we get to the top, that's going to be the beginning of the 2nd floor that we're going to go ahead and build the foundation of. So you can see it here. Now I actually forgot to do it here, but right here where you see the edges of the entrance, you're going to want to put 3 glass walls up here and 3 glass walls over here, just to clean things up. I forgot to do that earlier. After you do that, we're going to come down here and we're going to build the actual rest area that we're going to use to sleep. Now I have 2 players in my server, but you can adjust accordingly. So we're going to put these pillars up. It's going to be 2 pillars high, and then we're going to go ahead with the clean kit walls on the sides right here. And then we're going to come around and we're going to do the clean kit walls with the windows over here. Now we're going to keep the front part open just because we want to be able to access the room pretty easily. So for the 2nd row, we're going to go ahead and put glass, as you can see right here. And then on the 3rd row, we're just going to go back with the clean kit walls as well. And we're going to do just 2 back right here. And then we're going to put a triangle one over here, and then this is what we're going to use to build the roof basically. So after that, we can climb up here. We're going to put ceilings, which is basically the roof kit part. We're going to just take that and do that. And as you can see, I'm doing my best to align the floor in the same direction. If not, you can just rotate the pieces to be able to do that. So this is what it looks like so far. We're gonna come through and put another layer of roof over here, which is gonna be part of the next floor. You'll see we connect that later. We also want to make sure the orientation is the same as below, right? So we're gonna do 2 rows of this like that, and then we're gonna cover it up with a roof. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and add some more of those base enhancements. I'm gonna decide over here to do the mining kit and put that over here, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the flower kit as well. So I think the flower kit, I think it enhances gathering or planting, I can't remember which one, and then the mining one does mining, obviously. So after that, you're going to go get the Japanese slanted roof, and you're just going to place it over here to close it up. Now you see I didn't actually finish building it here, but on my finished base I actually did finish it, so make sure you actually finish building it before you finish everything. So now we're going to take that same clean kit roof and we're going to build up the second floor. Now this is going to be the floor for the second floor, or the roof for the first floor. You see how I'm orienting it the same direction? You want to make sure you do that. Now over here you're going to see that it's a little bit crooked. This is a glitch in the game. It doesn't do this all the time, but if it does, just go ahead and break it and place it back. Just like that. Now this is going to take a while, so we're going to go across the entire second floor. So we're going to cover everything, including that entrance part. And all we're going to do is skip the area with the stairs. We want to make sure we keep that open because that's where all the pals are going to start coming through. That little space you have right there should be enough space for all your big pals if you have big pals to go through. So you should be okay here. So you can see I'm just continually working my way through the second floor, and this is what it looks like when it's complete. Okay, great. So this is the part of the base where things are going to start basically mirroring itself. As you can see, the top of the Japanese pillar structures over here, we're basically going to build 3 layers of the Japanese pillar structure, just like we did on the first floor. We're just going to build 3 layers up top, and then we're going to do the same thing for the walls as we did last time, and we're going to basically just make it the exact same spots as we did before. We're going to put the glass in this exact same spots as we did before on the first floor, and we're just going to repeat it. You can see over here I'm putting 1 right now just so I can see exactly where all the pillars are. Once I finish putting 1, I'm going to go back and put the other 2. So we're still going to have 3 rows right here. So if you want to save yourself some time from all the walking that I did at this part of the video, you can actually stack 3 on top of each other instead of 1, and then move on to the part of the video where we're putting the walls up. Now you see to the right over there I did miss 1 spot. Make sure you get that spot when you do it. I do end up fixing it later in the video, but if you do miss it, make sure you just get that 1 spot towards the middle with those pillars that I missed. Alright, now it's time to put the walls up. Like we mentioned, we're going to stack walls 3 rows high, and we're basically going to follow this trend for all of the different floors that we do. Now, when you're near the stairs, things do get a little bit tricky, so, you know, use your platforming skills to get around. Once again, now that all the clean kit walls are put up, we're just going to go around and put all of the glass. Now for the second floor, we're going to cover the entire section right there you saw with glass, unlike the first floor where that part was open. So just make sure you remember that part. Now we're going to build the stairs that's going to lead up to the third floor, and we're basically going to rinse and repeat this process. This is going to be the same, almost exactly the same structure as the first floor, but there will be a little bit of changes as I'll show you as we go along. Now over here you're going to see me place the stairs, but what you want to actually do is you're going to want to put walls, like the clean kit walls behind here where I pointed at, right behind the stairs. If you don't, then you'll see later on where there will be a gap, and I will show you how to fix that as well. So once you get up here, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to use the clean kit walls to build out the floor that you're going to step on, and leave this space right here empty for the elevator, because when you use the elevator, that's how you're going to get up between all the floors a little bit faster. We're going to put some walls here as well, and we're going to put one extra row that we're going to end up breaking later, but we're going to use these to start the stairs. And then you're going to grab your stairs that you're using, and you're going to basically stack them 2 stories high, just like you did with the first floor. So as we go around, we're going to see these 2 structures right here. We're going to go ahead and break those so that it's a little bit smoother to come up the stairs. And we're going to break these 2 as well. Now you see back here, where there's that gap, that's the gap I was talking about, where you want to basically put those walls up before you put the stairs. And if you were to try to put the walls up here, you can't, which is why I suggest you go ahead and do it before. So what you're going to do is you're going to come back around here, you're going to break those stairs, and you're going to put the walls behind them, and then put the stairs back. That way everything is clean and you haven't really made much of a mess. Now, just like we did before, we're going to repeat the same process. We're going to basically put all the roof tiles up, which is going to be the floor for the next floor, or the ceiling for the current floor. And we're just going to go across the whole building, just like we did before. This is a rinse and repeat process as we go along the base. We're going to be doing this for just about every floor that we're building, with the exception of the roof, which will be a little bit different. So when we get to that part, I will tell you what to do there. But right now, we're basically building the floor for the 3rd story. And as you can see, we're complete. And once we get to this point, we're going to go ahead and build up the pillars like we did before. And we're going to stack 3 rows. And then once we're done stacking these 3 rows, we're going to go in and put the walls the same exact way as we did before. Alright, basically like I mentioned earlier, we're stacking the walls right now. Now you might hear some raid music as I go along. If you don't want to hear that, just turn the raids off temporarily. I know there's an option to do so. I was doing a dedicated server, so I didn't want to go in my server settings to turn it off, but you know, if you're playing locally, you could just turn it off if it annoys you. I've had to go actually fight them a couple times. One of the bad parts of having the raids turned on is they will literally come in droves, and you have to go to the bottom floor, summon your pals, get them to fight them, and all that good stuff while you're at it. It's just a little bit of a pain. You don't really want them damaging your base while you're working on building it from scratch, so you end up having to do that quite a bit. Once again here, we're going to be doing the glass walls to follow up the clean kit walls. And as you can see, it will come together as we're, continuing with the build. And this is the 3rd floor, so for the most part, we're going to do the same exact setup where we cover all of the gaps right here with the glass walls. And it just gives you a nice little view of the exterior, but it gives you enough walls for you to feel like you're actually inside. So for the area that faces the next base, you're going to want to kind of do it how you did the first entrance. You're going to want to put 3 on one side and then put 3 on the other side and leave the middle section blank. You're going to have 3 tiles wide that you leave blank on the middle section, and this is the area that we're going to build the Skybridge on. So we just want to make sure we keep that open. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and just build the stairs for the for the 4th floor, just like we did last time. So nice and simple. This is actually going to be exactly the same like the previous level. So at this point, you recognize the pattern. You'll be doing these types of stairs pretty much throughout both bases. So very simple setup. Gives your pals enough room, so there's not really too many pathing issues with this. So it's just a stair structure that I noticed worked for me. Gonna put those floors up again if we don't struggle. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna put those extra tiles over here and then throw the stairs up. And we're gonna go back there and break those extra tiles like we did before. Perfect. Yep, that's nice and smooth. So guess what we're doing again, y'all? That's right. Floors. Aren't you getting the hang of this already? That's great. But sometimes they don't want to turn when you or rotate when you put them down. So sometimes you just gotta put them down and then rotate them. So if you see me doing that, sometimes that's what ends up happening. But nothing that's not too hard to fix. So once again, we're going through the rows again. We're basically a broken record. All right, now that we finished, we're gonna go ahead and guess what? Throw some pillars up. So you're gonna notice in this video that I do make a few mistakes that I end up fixing. So this right here is going to be one of them. You see I have 3 rows of clean tiles stacked, and then I have these 4 tiles right here. You're gonna want to remove them, and you're gonna want to place them over there and do 3 rows up high from there, and then you're gonna fill everything else up with the glass tiles. You'll actually see me do this later on in the video when we get to the stuff we actually put in. So but for now, we'll just let it go. See these 3 right here? Those would be clean kit tiles that we put. Now the only difference over here, since this is the 4th floor on the production base, this is going to be where the pals sleep. So we want to give them a nice little view. So instead of the clean kit tile and glass tile combo like we had before, we're going to cover the entire floor with glass tiles, which should make it a little bit easier to remember where to put things. You don't have to actually remember how you did the previous floors. Just fill everything up with glass. Nice and easy. So this is going to be the top floor as far as the main floors are concerned. So we're just going to put regular glass panes here to signify that this is the top level. We are going to build some stairs for the roof access, but it's going to be separate from here. So we won't actually have to worry about doing these set of stairs any longer. So before we actually do the stairs, we're going to go ahead and, lay the floors down again. So keeping the same orientation, we're just going to, get that final layer of stuff down just to get the roof floor started. So for this section, normally we would leave it uncovered so that pals could go through, but pals are not actually going to come through on this level, so we can actually cover the entire floor, as you can see here. So we finished everything. You didn't see me drop, but right now we dropped to the base level of the elevator where we had put that door. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace the back with the clean kit door just to make it work properly. Then we're going to put some triangles on the side just to have the stairs run. And then we're going to take our, at least for me, the Japanese stairs, but whatever stairs you choose. And we're going to actually have the stairs line up to the outside of the base. That way you have a way, if you were to like come from the base part of the floor, to actually walk up to the base instead of having to like climb anything. So just beware that raid pals can walk up these stairs as well, even though I've noticed they haven't really took that path. And here's a demonstration of me hopping on the pal and basically going up the levels with the elevator. So you see how quickly we made it to the 4th floor already? That's basically the perk of having that elevator. So now we're going to build the stairs that will lead up to the roof. We're just going to come to the side over here. And we're basically going to build the stairs out as you can see me do here. So over here, you're gonna see that I put the door to the very left side. I would move it one over just so that it's a little bit easier to get to the bed that we're gonna end up putting there when we go up the levels. I try to put a bed every few floors just so that, you know, if someone's on the other side of the base or you're pretty far, we don't have to go all the way to the bottom floor to sleep. We could just go ahead and come over here and sleep. So just a nice little extra convenient location to put the bed, especially because, you know, we don't want to have a bunch of wasted space if we don't have to. So just a good thing to notice. So as you can see, we just threw the triangles down, and we're gonna go ahead and lay the stairs down. And up top here, you can't lay it because of the roof. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually break 6 tiles of the roof, and that's gonna make sure that one, even if, just in case you wanted your pals to come up here, your big pals could go up there. But more so too, it's just for, you know, cleanliness. So once you do that, put the final row of stairs up for a total of 3 rows, and then you're going to end up on the roof. So in this section, we're going to go ahead and focus on building the roof, and then after we build the roof, we're going to go ahead and build the quote-unquote secret room, which is just basically an extra room that we put up on the roof just to make sure we don't waste, you know, all the space that we have up here. So we try to use space efficiently in this base if possible. So what we're doing now is we're basically putting the triangles that are going to serve the base for the side that we're going to use to align our roof. So we threw the triangles down, then we're going to go ahead and throw some squares across, and we're going to do this on both sides, as you'll see. And then we will hit the edges with the triangles, just so at the end of the day you're going to see a huge triangle on both sides. And just like we did on the other side, we're going to do the same exact thing on this side. Just watch out a little bit for those stairs. So this roof that we put over here, we're going to destroy it, and we're going to put the Japanese style roof B over here, just to signify the top of the elevator. And over here, we're going to take the Japanese slanted roof, and we're just going to take it across the entire row over here. And once we do that, we're going to basically stack each row till we get to the top of the triangle, and then we're going to repeat the same thing on the bottom side. And here's a good aerial view of what I mean when I say that. So inside here, we're gonna clean things up a little bit. We'll put some glass over here just to, you know, make it like a ledge or something. Not a ledge, just a, you know, you have a clean entrance to the roof. And I like to make it tall enough where, you know, big pals can come through if they need to. So it's a nice little touch. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You could do fences instead. But this is just another good touch. And then I threw some pillars over here just to fancy it up a little bit. So I'll let you have a little bit of creative control in how you decide to do this part. So you see the PAL expedition right there. Just go ahead and ignore that. I had put that up earlier, but we're gonna destroy that because if you didn't build it already, don't build it. But if you didn't, just go ahead and ignore it because we're gonna reorient that later. So now we're gonna build a secret room. As you can see, we're gonna come up the side of the roof, and what we did is we came up the side that had the entrance to the sky roof, and then we're gonna go ahead from the bottom. We're gonna go up, I think we're gonna go up 4 rows, and then we're gonna go over, I believe, 5 rows, or 4 or 5, I can't remember. But I'll show you later the aerial view of what it looks like when you break everything. So if you're able to count it, good. If not, I'll show it to you in a second. So once you break that one hole, you're gonna want to break 2 over and then 2 over again, like this. So you can see, there you go. It was 4 tiles up, 4 tiles over, and then you start breaking it. So now after bringing the PAL back, we're gonna go ahead and start building the floor for this. So normally we were using the clean kit for the walls, but for the secret room we're going to actually use the Japanese floor kit just to give it a little bit of diversity. And you will notice that as I am building this secret room, one, I am making tons of mistakes because I freestyled this build, and this is the part of the video where I said it took a while and I'm not redoing this. So if you can kind of get the gist of what I'm doing, you can fast forward it yourself. But basically I'm going to connect all of the different edges, and then we're going to build the room inside of here, and then we're going to come back and rebuild the roof when we finish everything. So right now, as you see the roof, we're going to basically destroy all of the middle part as we go along in this build. You know, just pay attention, and you'll be able to rebuild this when it's done. So in this section, we're gonna use the Japanese style door A. Make sure you rotate it so that the roof section is facing the outside, and we're gonna put those on the outer 2 entrances or openings, and then we're going to actually not put this one, but we're gonna put the glass wall with the window in the middle, so you can peek out from that angle as well. Watching this part was probably frustrating for you. I'm sorry, we kind of freestyled a little bit here, but once you finish this part, you can see that the walls and everything are good to go. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the glass walls on the surface sides over here, just so that we can see the bottom side of the roof. So now we're gonna basically open up these two squares here, and then we're going to put the clean kit roof, just so that we can you know, bring the stairs that we'll be using to access this area from the bottom floors. And make sure once again that you orient the floors the same way as the bottom level. We like to keep things consistent over here. And then now we'll just build the stairs down. This gets a little tricky, but once you build the stairs down, you're gonna we're gonna throw some pillars up, and then we're gonna try to line the pillars with the bottom floor, and then close up this structure. So now that the stairs are up, we're gonna basically close the enclosure. So we'll put some clean kit walls up just to close everything up. And as usual, I can't remember if I showed it in this part, but as usual, once we finish cleaning everything up, you know we're gonna make a room out of that stairs, the under the staircase part. So whenever you see it in the video, you'll basically be able to use that room for whatever you want. As we get further in the video, you'll see that I didn't really do anything with that space, but you're free to do whatever you want with that space in there. Okay, so now that we finished the inside of the secret room and the stair access, we're gonna go around here and, as you can see, close up the roof again and repair all the damage that we did earlier, making sure that we keep the areas open where you can enter, and same thing with the windows. And as you can see, I got another raid, so yeah, had to handle that. So all we're doing over here is just buttoning up the roof so it looks nice again. So now for the second most annoying part of this build, building the balconies. So we're gonna start on the second floor and then we'll move on to the third floor. Both floors will be done almost exactly the same. So you're gonna come over here, build a glass wall, and a glass door. Open it up, and then once we open it up, we'll go ahead and take the clean kit roof tiles, and we're gonna use that to build the floor for the balcony. Now we're gonna build it 2 tiles wide, just because we need access to, you know, walk around, and then we can also put things on the balcony if we actually feel like it. So, and over here, as you can see, I just put some tiles to start it up over there, but I wanted to break it because I wanted to end near the elevators. So we're gonna just build 2 tiles wide, and as you can see over here, as I'm creeping the edge of the base, you want to try to squeeze in a tile on the other side so you can walk to that other side and still have your base resources in order to continue building. So it gets a little tricky when you get to the corners, but you want to, you know, peek around the corners just so you can position your person in a position where you're actually able to use all of the base resources rather than having to grab some other ones. So we're just gonna go around the building. We're gonna do this across the entire building, so we'll just do this right here. Same trick over here. When you get to the edge, you're gonna try to get that corner piece in so that you can go back into that little circle area and then continue building that way. And over here we're gonna build across the whole thing. So once we get to the end, we're gonna stop right at the elevator. So now that we're done, we're gonna go ahead and take the glass fence and we're gonna start stacking them on the on the balcony itself, so you kind of have a little bit of a what do you call those things? Balcony area. Now I'm gonna employ that same trick I mentioned earlier, where you not on the base, and you need to actually go back and break some of the same materials that you plan on using in the areas outside of the base, as you can see me doing here. This is basically gonna help you go over there and rebuild any area outside of the base, because you can't do that same trick we did earlier with the tiles, because you just don't have the range. So you come back and you do it that way, and then you go back in the base and rebuild the pieces that you can reach. So in this case, like I said earlier, this is going to be very convenient for you, because otherwise you'd have to go down to the first floor, pick up some stone and some Paldium fragments, and then hopefully not run out of what do you call it, weight. So this is just a good strategy to keep doing as you go along. So you'll see me do it quite a lot with the balcony structures, basically at every corner. Get to the edge, go break some of the middle pieces, lay down the edges, and then go back to the middle pieces and build it while I'm on the base. So you'll just see me doing that the entire time.
Oh!
So we're gonna build a balcony on the third floor as well. It's gonna be the same concept. On this edge over here, next to where the Skybridge is gonna be built, we're gonna put the glass door, replace it with the glass door, and then we're gonna go out, put those clean tiles, and wrap around the building the same way we did the first time. And just like before, we're gonna go ahead and put the fences up as well. Alright, as you can see, we have a front view of the production base, and also we have the side view. I didn't take a picture of the back view, so my bad. So now one of the last things we're going to do is we're going to take the clean kit slanted roof, and this is going to be a little bit tricky, but what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the way that we lay it. So instead of kind of like laying it down, we're laying it up, right? So you can place it on all of the clean kit parts of the base floor. So all the white walls, as you can see, we're just going to put them down like this. We're going to skip all of the glass structures or the glass walls. And we're also going to skip the elevator part. We're not going to put it on the elevator part. Congratulations! We built the production base. So now, as your prize, we get to do that whole entire process all over again. So, I'm going to put the timestamp right here for the first part of the build. You can take that same blueprint and redo the second part exactly the same. There will be a few changes, like some things will be done in reverse, but and I'll show you those as the video goes by. But as you can see here, we're building the same structure just like we did the first one. So everything from the stairs and all of that is the same. The only difference is, in my case, for the build for the breeding side, I actually use the clean stairs instead. So as you can see here, nothing shows up when you try to build the electric generator, the large one over here, and that's because it's pretty tall, so you're gonna have to break these roofs over here in order to make room for that piece to be built. Now once you start building it, you can actually go back and put those roofs over it again and it will stay in place. So that's just something to note. So one of the differences here is on the other base, we had the rest area on the right side when you came in. Here it's going to be on the left side of the of the base, but the actual build is going to be exactly the same. You're going to have the clean kit tiles on the back side or the side, and you're going to have the windows on the front, and then the glass pane in the second row, and same thing as the first one. And the same thing, of course, applies to the base upgrades, right? You'll have to put the same base upgrades here because what applies over there doesn't apply over here. And you just want to make sure that you find places to hide those. Or if you want to actually keep them out in the open, that's okay too. Okay, so on to the Skybridge. Before we actually start working on the Skybridge, what we're going to want to do is open up the area over here that we had built over. So we'll just break the 3 areas over here. We're going to break the floors as well. And we're going to, you can see that I'm putting fences over here. You don't actually have to build those right now because we're going to destroy those and put walls up there later on. So just giving you a heads up that that's a part that you actually don't have to do, but you do have to break the floors, and what you just did here you're gonna have to do on the other side as well. Okay, so this part is going to be fun. We're going to build the Skybridge that actually connects the 2 bases. Like I mentioned before, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need some Paldium fragments, and you're going to need some stone. And you're going to need 2 times as much Paldium fragments as you need stone. So once you get those together in your inventory, you can go build out. Because the thing is, you're going to run out of base space really soon, and you're going to need all of those to build the base as well as the walls that surround the Skybridge. So as you can see here, I'm basically building the floor of the Skybridge right now that connects the 2 bases together. And like I mentioned earlier, because there are foundations below, you actually don't have to worry about the limitations of Palworld physics where you run out of support after 2 rows. So because you have that floor down there, you're basically good to go. You can see over here we're building the walls now, and we're going to do the same thing for each side, just 3 rows up and just take it all the way across. Now one thing I will note as you play the game, this base will get raided. Make sure that as the Skybridge portion on the bottom gets messed up and broken, that you repair them accordingly, because if you start messing up the foundations on the bottom part, you may end up with holes in the Skybridge if you don't maintain it well. So just something to note. And you're gonna see on these corners, we're gonna be replacing walls with glass doors. We're gonna do 1 on each corner just because we want to have access to the balcony from the Skybridge as well. So just a little versatility in how we make ourselves go inside and outside. So So after we have the 3 rows of walls up on each side, we're going to go ahead and put the clean kit roof up top just to make the roof for the Skybridge. So now that the roof is done, we're going to basically take the Japanese slanted roof and we're going to lay them across the top right there on each side. We'll do this here, and then we'll take it on the other side as well. And now once we're done, we're going to take that Japanese roof style B and we're going to run that across the middle to close those gaps up. Alright, and that's the last one. And now here's a little walkthrough of the Skybridge that connects the two bases together. That was the production base behind me, you can tell by the stairs. And over here we have the clean stairs that denote the breeding base. Now you can pick whichever stairs you want, but I found those two pairs of stairs to be the nicest looking ones on the base. So that's what we decided to pick. So here we go. We're at the skill fruit area. This is the 3rd floor. This is where I told you we were going to fix that mistake we made earlier. This is the breeding base side, right? So the side with the clean kit stairs. What we're going to do is we're going to fix that little section by replacing the glass walls on the side. Well, actually before we do that, we're going to replace these over here with the glass ceiling. Then we're going to come over here and replace the glass on the side with the clean kit, right? So 5 across on the bottom, and then you're going to take it 3 up top. So place that one right here, and then the 2 up top right there. Okay, so we do that on one side, and we're actually gonna do that on the other base as well, because we want uniformity. So we'll end up doing that on the other side of the base as well. Now what we're gonna do here is we're going to build the room for the chests for all of the skill fruits that we're gonna have, right? We're gonna have, I think, 9 chests, 1 for each element. So we're just gonna stack glass towers right here. We're gonna do a 3x3 on each side, just like that. Once we finish, we're going to start laying out the chest. I'll usually start by just putting these chests out just like that as a starting point. But what we're going to do is we're going to build out a chest, and we're going to use the barrels to get them a little bit closer together to give yourself a nice little setup. Now you can actually arrange these any way that you want that's beneficial to you, but in that whole space that you have right there, we're gonna have 9 chests, so you want to make sure you have a chest for each type. So I'm basically using the barrels to get them a little bit closer to each other, and the trick with that is that you can get them close enough to where the stuff just looks a little bit cleaner, but at the same time it's far enough where you're not tripping trying to open one chest instead of the other. So here I am on the production base side. I actually took my jet dragon over, and we're gonna fix this structure up the same exact way we did the breeding base. So on the production side, we're gonna actually build a little medicine area. It's gonna be quite small, but we're gonna build just a little bit of a staircase over here, and all that's gonna do is basically give us an area where we can do medicine production. Now most people in the game Don't really do medicine production at this point in the game, but you know, if you want to just be fancy and have like a little medical center, it's fine. So we just made it four staircases wide, and as you can see, there's not really much of a ramp because everything as far as the medicine area doesn't take a lot of space, so we're able to basically successfully fit everything we want in this little area right here, which is good for us. So what I'll do is over here I'll just put a clean kit fence right there, just to, you know, box things in, and then once we're done we can actually put our stuff in later. And here's the finished product. Alright y'all, so here's the part where I'm just gonna go over the decorations. I'm not actually gonna place them because that took a lot of work. So I'm just gonna show you around and you can use this for inspiration. Over here we have some mounted, I think it's some mounted rifles, whatever they're called. And I actually caught 2 PIDF officers and I'm using them as security basically. So when you first walk in, to your right, you're going to see these chests. This is where I use for excess things. Like if I want to buy like excess organs past the 9,999, I put them in there. I'll put excess oil in there, and just anything that I need just to kind of get out of the way of the rest of the base. So to the right side, you're going to see the food production area. For the production base, we're only making salads. So we have 3 lettuce fields and 3 tomato fields. And in that little center area right here, we're gonna have the cooking area. We have the stone oven. We have the cooling feed box, which is an upgrade to the regular feed box. And you saw the refrigerator over there that I use to kind of just, you know, hold ingredients. And then over here we have the rest area that we use to sleep in, but we also have some PAL crafting stations for the saddles, and the PAL research thing was over there as well. And then over there is where I have my merchants. So now if you look in the room, I usually play this server with one of my other friends, and so we have 2 beds in here, and each one of us have 3 chests. We label them how we use them basically. So we have one for armor, one for weapons, and then one for, like, you know, miscellaneous things. We have that antique cloth thing in the middle that we use to change outfits if we need to. Some couches for, you know, decorations, and then my side of the bed over here, same old, same old. We threw some carpets down just for, you know, entertainment purposes and all that good stuff. So on this back corner we have a couple of things. We have our PAL materials and our PAL costumes chests, and just something to keep them out the way. Then we have our electricity generator right here, and then we have our repair kits. I kind of just tucked that in a little area, and then we have our item retrieval thing right over there too. So just show you what's in the chests real quick. I keep basic schematics and all the costumes and stuff around here. You can see the repair kits over here, and then the item retrieval machine where you can basically grab all of the different things on the base. So it's pretty cool. Turns out to be very beneficial for us. And I put all that on the first floor just in case I want to, you know, transfer a lot of stuff across the base to the guild chest that's down there as well. So onto the electrical room, just like you saw before. They're not charged up yet, but that's because I just built them. You have the 10 accumulators and the 2 wave generators in the middle. Nothing to it. As you go up the floor, you're gonna see some of those Japanese baths or whatever they're called. I forgot already. Then you're gonna have the refrigerated crushers. I put 3 of them, and then the wood station. So you're gonna see on this floor, I'm gonna have all of the different resource gathering stations. So I have stone, hexolite, everything. You can put whatever you want that suits your needs over here. So this part is very customizable. I have hexolite chests in the middle, or advanced chests in the middle, that allow you to put all the materials in. So and then over here we have 4 of those whatever you call it, furnaces, gigantic furnaces, and you can use whatever pals to make any of the stuff you want. And then over here we have the monitoring stand and the at a Palbox, like one of those mini Palboxes as well. Those you can also put throughout the base just to tell your pals what to do, and also to move pals in and out of the base, so you don't have to just go to the first floor and do it. So that was a pretty good addition that they added the mini Palbox and the workstation stuff. So here we are on the 3rd floor. We have all of our crafting tables. These are the advanced ones that you get. I think you have to be like in the 60s to get all of them. And then over here we have our schematic area, where we have our schematic armor and schematic weapons, and the drafting table if you need it. We have the gold assembly line over here, you know, to make that money, make that paper. And then on the right side over there, as you can see, we have the medicine area, and then the Skybridge in the middle that takes you to the breeding base. So the 3rd floor is very important because that's how you can get between the 2 bases, in addition to the 1st floor. So it's pretty good too. 4th floor on the production base, all you got is the beds for the pals, and by the stairs, like you see over here, you have the beds for you and whoever else. Alright, so moving on to the roof of the production base. As you can see, this is the orientation that we have the PAL expedition station in now. You gotta fidget with it a little bit to get it in there, but this is how we were able to get it to fit. Always like to fit one of those in every base that we can, just so we can get those cores, ancient civilization cores. And then this is the secret room. I have nothing in there right now because I haven't, you know, designed it. This room is actually pretty, you know, pretty much for vanity, but it's nice. And then here's the outside. Come here, Xenolord. There you go. So just gonna do a circle around the base. Now those red banners, you can get those from beating the tower bosses and then unlocking them in your tech tree. So as you can see, I just placed them all over the exterior of the base. And you can just do those as well. I picked red for the production base, and I picked the blue moonflower ones for the breeding base, but you can actually pick whichever one you want. Now on the inside, you see I have these stone Yakumo structures that you get from beating those enemy bases, and then I have the I think the Raven Syndicate flags up top there. And then I have red carpet going along. So just a nice little decoration. It's actually straight vanity, nothing to it. So this is the thing that connects to both sides, and then you have a light on the side on the top of that over there. Now you can't put lights in the middle because lights won't work outside the base, so I put one right at the edge of each side, and then I think I put candles on the walls for the rest of them. Now for the breeding base, this is the 3rd floor. The 3rd and the 4th floor is pretty much the same. Each one has 4 breeding pens and 4 of the 10 pal hatching things or whatever. Now's a good time to mention that in my settings, I have the incubation set to 0, so they hatch instantly. If you don't have that set and you have a default where you want them to hatch after however many times or whatever, you can basically use the electric ones, and that will help with breeding times. And on the 4th floor, unlike over there where we had the sleeping beds, on the 4th floor here we have all the skill fruit tree production. Basically 18 of them. Now this is the old setup from the old video. If you liked it that way, this was on the 3rd floor. I had the fourth floor as the beds. But in the updated video that I'm doing right now, I wanted more skill fruit trees, so I made the fourth floor strictly for skill fruit trees, and then I made the roof like you're about to see now, where I actually had the pals sleeping. So you can pick whichever way you want it done. If you don't need 8 breeding pens, which I did at the time, you can use the third floor for the skill fruit trees like I did. So taking the elevator down to the first floor, you can see the rest area on the left side and a land ball. So if you were to walk in on the right side this time, you would have the food, which is like the berry plots, all of the carrots and everything, because I make a lot of different foods here. And 2 cooking stations, because we also focus on cakes here. This is where the merchant would be if I had the merchant. And then we have the rest area over there and the ranches where I will use to make honey or whatever else I want to make. So this is just a good place to do that. And then in here you have the beds and a chest just for, you know, giggles and stuff. Yeah, so we hit the conclusion of the video. This was a very long video, so you know, if you enjoyed it, please go ahead and subscribe to your boy, and go ahead and you know, hit that like button. You know, I'm gonna be doing these base videos quite a bit, so you know, stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, and I appreciate you watching.
Hey!